L. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
What's up? Happy Friday, everybody. How are you doing? It is me. It is I. It is the Appalachian American, and I'm here to have some fun with all you people. It's been a hot minute, and I'm excited to be right here, sharing the good word of things that happened this week in current events, discussion, whatever, what have you. But hey, I'm excited. I hope you're excited. We hope you've had a fantastic 2 weeks. It's been a long time since I've seen you, and I do miss being here on the mic. But hey, I've got a friend with me right now. There's going to be a couple more popping in. They're late, always, usual, whatever. But my buddy right meow is David.
G'day, friends and friends. Hi there, Junior. Yeah, we're excited to be here too. So thanks for your comments.
There's so much going on. Honestly, the last week feels like it's been drinking from a fire hose.
Well, that's the thing, hey. Usually it's the stories break after we finish, but for the last week we've had nothing but story every day.
Yeah. Indeed.
It's hard to know where to start to catch up on it all, but it does all revolve around one thing: Democrats being Democrats, right?
Yeah. I mean, what we talk about, we can start off with MTG just moments ago, leaving Congress, officially resigning as of January 5th.
Yeah, well, Trump withdrew her support. Her friend Massey voted against the releasing of the Epstein bill. He was the only one. I think he was expecting others to take a principled stand or something. I guess he didn't realize that the Democrats were going to actually vote for the bill.
Yeah.
But I think MTG's revealed herself to be the opportunist in the room. She's tired of pretending that she's not a feminist, that she's not an empowered single female or something.
Well, it's strictly so far it seems strictly to be just a rhino that,
I think it goes beyond that. I think she's used Congress to try and score herself a job, and she's found one.
Huh. Well, maybe.
A lot do, Look, a lot do.
Do you think it has anything to do with a possible presidential run in 2028?
No, I think I think behind the scenes, too many of her colleagues just said, "We're not interested in you anymore." It was fun, but you're crazy. Go buy a cat.
Yeah.
It is. At first I thought she was a principled person and that she had a moral compass. But it turns out she's just another feminist. She wants to be empowered. She wants to be in Congress. But she doesn't bring anything to the table. I mean, really, what has she done? What has she brought?
I don't know that she's done really anything other than just Oh shoot! Did I just leave the thing?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm good. I thought I left the. I thought I left the stream
Oh,
because
no, all she's done is bark.
Yeah,
And she's a
that's
chihuahua.
literally all she's done. It's crazy.
And the thing is, she's barked for so long about Epstein, she's become a one-trick pony. And what she didn't realize that people like us have been asking the question, like, for 4 years, and I think when she failed to bring up that fundamental question is Biden, Timur Obama,
Yep.
Crazy Chuck. If you wanted the files so much, why didn't you ask Biden for them? She didn't.
No, she's not going to. It's a bit ridiculous.
I think her colleagues reminded her politely, actually, that
Already exited to see the crew.
yeah, that's what I meant by hi Junior earlier.
Oh, cool. Well, what's up? Welcome.
Yeah, see, I think Republicans had a quiet talk with her, and she took it as a personal insult. They asked her why she had probably never brought it up before. Like, why did she wait till now? Why did she do this song and dance in 2020, 2016, but not 2024? And why she and her friends were going to vote against the bill, And then she realized that she was going to be the lone wolf, and she didn't want it. She probably didn't even tell the others that the Democrats and the Republicans were going to vote for the bill. She actually was hoping they voted against it,
Oh, I'm sure.
so that she could have one of her principled moments. See, this is the problem people don't understand about feminism. It's not about equality. It's about having those gotcha moments. Particularly with, that's what she's about, right? She wants those gotcha moments.
Well, yeah, I mean, her, it's crazy. She just had a feud with President Trump. She spewed off all this crap. She thought that she was in the clear, and then they released the Epstein files, and I'm not wondering if
because Trump turned around and says, "Well, my hands are no longer tied." Right?
Yeah.
The injunctions against him expired. All the Epstein victims came out and said they're not going to file a lawsuit. He was clear. He had no judge in his way because he got the Democrats riled up to demand the release. And he said, well, you get those judges off my back and you can have them.
Oh, I think it's hysterical because all these people are coming out now and it's like, they're like, oh yeah, release him. He finally got people into wanting them released.
Files. Yeah.
And hopefully now it'll come out. I don't care who's on it.
Everybody was wanting
I don't care who's on it. Let them burn.
Yep. And several Republicans, several Democrats have all said the same thing, and I agree with them. We have Bill Gates out there pretending the Epstein files haven't dropped, and he's talking about some global pandemic. Yes, I know China has a COVID problem, but they've done testing in the West, and it turns out we're immune to it.
Exactly.
Turns out going out into the sun gets your immunity system up. Wow.
We're not doctors. We can't make.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying a bunch of doctors have come out and said, wow, going out in the sun has actually made us immune to this thing.
Yep.
It's not me claiming it.
Yeah.
But Bill Gates, not a doctor. I've got the same medical degree as Bill Gates.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
But here's the thing. How many we do have a ongoing global illness, but we can't cure it, okay? And a lot of doctors have actually said you don't want to cure the common cold because it would give our immune system actually nothing to do, and it would shut down. And that's what's happened in China. They've so over-immunized themselves that they're not immune to some of the diseases that we are.
Right.
Right? The whole point of immunity is that hi, we've got these dangerous diseases that you can't build up immunity to for whatever reason, we can't work out. So yeah, we'll immunize you against the really bad ones. But the problem is that they do like 32 immunizations or something. It's really ridiculous. And then like they're all thinking they're all super fit and they drink their green teas and they do all these yogas and tai chis. And and if somebody's even got a sniffle, you got to stay home and lock yourself, isolate yourself. The problem is they don't understand. When you sneeze, you're not spreading the disease. You're spreading your immunity to that disease.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I don't know.
A cold is one of those things you're meant to have.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your immune system has nothing to do.
Yeah,
it's just one of those weird things that doctors have only recently figured out that, wait a minute, we do need the cold? Why do we need the cold?
I like it cold.
Yeah.
Not having a cold, but I like the cold.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be a lot more resignations popping up now that Epstein stuff is slowly releasing?
I think we're going to see actually in the back room, all the people, all the staffers, all the organizers, the fundraisers. We've already seen we've already seen a fundraiser for Obama go down for 10 years for soliciting foreign funds, organized a money laundering ring in which foreign funds were put into foundations, and then those foundations gave money to Clinton, Obama, even after they were elected, which is the weird part. But there's no rule. Like, they could fundraise forever. Obama can fundraise forever as long as he puts it to political use.
Yeah.
But what we're finding out, and I think a lot of people haven't noticed this, it's how Epstein got rich. It's how a lot of Clooney got rich. It's how a lot of Hollywood got rich. It's not off the movies. It's not off the stock market. It's off political fundraising.
Yep. I was getting ready to say fundraising and all that crap.
Parties turn around and give the financiers all the money they fundraise and says, give us back more and dole it back to us. And that's just the money laundering scheme because it now double donates. They're double donating and claiming tax write-offs on their hedge funds. But that's already donated money.
Yeah.
But apparently Trump's already got a big scalp. That's the Clinton advisor who's resigned from Harvard. There's they're losing people like Stephen Smith and Bill Maher have said the Democrat Party have gone too far. They've become the party of crazies. That he can't support them anymore. And he's not becoming a Republican. He just can't support them anymore. That'll change. He's probably just edging for a paycheck. But I could see... I don't think Hakeem Jeffries will resign, but I can see... And, well, Jasmine Crockett's already on her way out. But I can see a couple more congressmen. Yeah. I could see... I've heard that people have got knives out for Chuck Schumer because it's his fault. All he had to do was FDFU and let the Epstein case die. Chuck Schumer knew that all these people were on the files. I think Chuck Schumer's going to be primaried out. But you know who's going to suffer the most? And should suffer the most? It's the people, it's the lawyers who for so long covered up this case.
Dude, I tell you, politicians are so fake. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, they are fake.
But, so, was it Mandani met with Trump? Was it today?
Yeah, Mandami met with Trump a couple of hours ago, yes.
Right, okay. The reporter asked Mandami if he still stands behind his comment saying Trump is a fascist. And before Mandami could answer, Trump said, "You know what? It's okay. Just say yes. It's easier than explaining it." And they jokingly laughed, and Mandami said yes. They're so fake.
Yeah. Did I tell you my father used to do political fundraising for politics here?
Oh my gosh, somebody created an AI snippet, and I'm about to show this real quick.
All right.
Share screen. Let's see. Apparently, Mandami arrested by ICE. Here, let's go right up here.
Meet you. Thank you for coming, Zoran. It's so nice to meet you.
Dang.
It's so nice to meet you. Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good one.
See, I've known for a long time politicians are fake, that they call each other names. I mean, I remember Ted Kennedy, would famously punch McCain on the arm and say, "I got you a good one with that singer, didn't I?" And then they'd go drinking, And then when Ted Kennedy retired, it was Hillary Clinton and McCain. I mean, they're all fake. I've known this for a long time. My father did political fundraising. And I've met politicians, and they wear a mask. You can see them prepping in the kitchen. They hate people. Deep down, it's like, why are you a politician when you hate people? But it's that ego, it's they're standing on the pedestal looking down,
Yep.
They get to be treated special. So they got to smile and greet people they hate. But secretly, they love each other because to them, it's a game.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's definitely,
as the Spartans called it, politics is Athenian theatre. For boy buggerers. Because they have no love, okay? They have no joy. At least with Trump, he's not a politician. But politics is wearing him down. And I think this is where he's probably going to be glad that he's only going to have 2 terms.
probably. More than likely, yes.
I wish the lawyers and judges would pay a bigger price for covering up for Epstein. But I guess the social price is going to have to be enough, because if we really go after these people, we're going to miss the actual opportunity to probably get some of the predators. And we probably know for the last 4 years, the FBI has probably used this information and covered up intelligence operations. It's never going to make it to Trump's desk. You know what I mean? We're never going to find out the full files. Okay.
Yep.
We know the CIA covered up, and didn't tell. They told Nixon, they admitted allegedly when Nixon was digging into the assassination of Kennedy.
Yep.
They admitted it to him and said, "What you going to do about it?" Because Pete's right. What are they going to do about it? The Republicans. This is the thing that most people don't understand. The system's so designed for the Democrats to always have power, even when they lose elections. Because unless the Republicans have 60% of the seats, which is fairly unlikely, although, I think George Bush did have a supermajority once.
Yeah, the Bushes, yay.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's talks that they're going to try to take back over. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, that's why I brought him up.
There's no noise that indicates to let me know that somebody's here.
Oh, sorry.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
You don't get to see it, do you?
I see them there, but it's below my screen, so I actually
Yeah.
didn't see them. But if somebody's there, they've got to activate their video and audio. Hi, Luke.
Yeah, but I can't. I mean, they have to be let in. What's up,
They have
buddy?
to be let in. Yeah, there's no ding.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Long time no
Hey,
see.
I actually brought that up. Why can't somebody in the private, if somebody's waiting, they should be able to send you a private message or ding you.
They might be able to send private chats. I don't know.
No, I don't see any box that lets you
Yeah,
access
it just says click to
Just
join.
it's got this little thing. That,
Ask to
waiting.
join. That's what it
Yeah,
says.
that's all it is. That's all I see. But I don't know.
I thought I had more water.
Me too. So I have heard everybody watches the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, correct?
Not in 30 years.
Well, but you know about it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
The highlights.
Apparently, this is going to be the last year for it. Did you guys
Macy's
hear about that?
No. Are
No.
they? Did they go out of business yet?
Mondami vowed to make it increase the prices on the permits,
Ah,
and instead of it was gonna have to be to the point where Macy's gonna have to charge people to come, and they just said no, they're just not gonna do it anymore.
yeah. Well, Mondami did promise he was going to find a way to raise $700 million. That's not a small amount of money for free buses, and that's only for 1 year.
Yeah. How are you gonna do that? You know?
Here's the problem that most people don't understand. When the government spends money, that is a liability, not an okay. That doesn't increase the amount of money in the system. It doesn't. It comes from other areas. It's a net negative. Okay. This obsession with GDP. Look at China. China had the government spending 60% of its tax revenue on transport. Okay, they built a high-speed rail system at the cost of trillions. They built highways at the cost of billions and trillions. 60% of their revenue went on public transport. And where are they now? Going broke.
Yeah.
China may slip into third place next year economically. And you may overtake them next year.
The U.S. has been broke for decades. What do you mean?
Hey, Labe, we were talking earlier about Mandami came to visit Trump today. Have you heard anything about that?
I saw a little bit on it. It sounds like Trump was just talking out of his ass, as far as I can tell.
Well, as far as all the clips from it, it looks like Trump's just a big troll because, like, now because Mandami came down there to meet him, everybody's assuming that the Democrats are going to turn on him. And all the pictures show like Trump just smiling real big and laughing about it because they had so many
Trump
different sound clips.
I heard that Trump let him speak for 35 minutes.
Oh,
Said,
wow.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for your input. And that was it. I don't think Trump really had anything to say to him.
Well, Alex played a little bit in the fourth hour because apparently everyone thought he was late, but I guess he came in a different door. But all the press and everything were waiting for him to show up. He was already there.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, he said something about working together. With the saying, there's no parties. This is what Trump was saying. There's no parties. They're just so I don't know. We'll see.
Apparently, they asked. Me and David was talking about this a minute ago, but apparently they asked Mandami if he still thinks Trump is a fascist, and he started to explain it, and Trump just interrupted and said, "Just tell him yes. It'd be easier to explain it."
No, but Mondami is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's an Islamo-fascist.
Yeah.
Well, he's already talking about fees on the churches, fees on parades. What's the other one? He wants a fee on millionaires to pay for the a taxi fee or something to pay for the buses. I mean, it's just robbing Peter to pay Paul, and eventually you've just the economy slows down.
It was robbing Muhammad to pay Muhammad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's got to hide all of his 14-year-old wives.
Oh, I got a dog. I thought I heard a
Glad you have a
thud
dog.
No, there was a thud. I thought I heard a thud downstairs, and now one of the dogs came up.
That's so funny.
My son, I think, I don't know if he's gone to bed or he's in the room. My wife's in Richmond, so. And my son leaves tomorrow for Cincinnati.
Nice.
Sweet.
And then so I'll be here by myself for a few days.
Oh, geez. 41 minutes ago, multiple gunshots at a Christmas tree lighting ceremony in Concord, North Carolina. Jeez.
Well, it's better than a truck plowing through the crowd. I'll be next.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Season for you import the third world.
'Tis the season for the religion of peace to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is
religion.
Right, we have. The problem is the Democrats so want to rub your face in. They are just so spiteful. It is spite why they're voting why they support illegals. It's spite why they support Mondami. Okay, the Democrats are just so spiteful. They want revenge. But speaking of revenge, China's passed a new law. Apparently, they want to add 10 years to a sentence for what they call social revenge acts. Because in China, people are setting disgruntled workers are setting fire to factories. Yesterday, a superintendent at a Chinese school was stabbed because he sent somebody's son home early and missed an exam because he dared asked if Xi Jinping was a dictator, and apparently the kid was arrested by police. 15-year-old arrested by police for asking, a basic question.
45 minutes ago, Trump revokes temporary protective status on Somalians in Minnesota. They can now be deported. Minnesota under. Hang on, wait just a second. I got a sound. Minnesota under Governor Walz is a hub for fraudulent money laundering activity.
No kidding.
As President of the United States, hereby terminating effective immediately the temporary protective status for Somalians in Minnesota. Somalian gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state, and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they came from. It's over.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, I'm sure, but we'll see.
Britain's between a rock and a hard place. Trump has put a deadline on the Ukraine peace deal. Still, all the details aren't made public yet.
Hey, here's a good one. Let's see, where is it at? There you go. Share. There's so many hoops you got to jump through, bro. How did you know I'm Somali? You missed. You can't even see the teeth.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, I can see the teeth. How did you know I was trans?
That's pretty funny. So I mean, that's great. Can you do it? What are you gonna do? Like, you got everybody and their brother wanting to go after ICE, and now just adding more.
Well,
Oh,
yesterday,
I'm so fed up with Democrats getting away with everything. Like,
yeah.
What do you want, Egg?
What?
Yeah. Mondami was talking.
Egg is one of our dogs.
Us out.
They're both
Why do you
looking
have a
at
dog
me now.
named Egg?
Because I have a son named Zachariah.
His fart smells like rotten eggs.
Because my wife didn't want to name him Cheese.
Why would you name him? I mean, what? Okay.
My son said we should name him Egg or Cheese, and my wife decided to name him Egg.
Why?
I don't know. I was in Chicago. I came home and we had another dog.
Oh, lovely.
I came home and I hear yep, yep, yep. I'm like, what in the world is this? Yep, yep, yep.
Big legal fight brewing in Texas.
Oh, did you hear Abbott finally sent a strongly worded letter to these places that have Sharia law, and he really, really, really means it this time.
Oh no!
You know, he's I saw some news thing, and
Such
he
a
was
pushover. He won't stand up for nothing.
It's like, you're the governor. You can actually activate the National Guard and remove these mayors legally.
You didn't catch that joke, did you?
But the thing is, he is in a legal battle.
Yeah, I got
and
it.
right now,
he's in a
he
wheelchair.
is going to the Supreme Court to basically assert his authority to get to stop all these judges blocking him all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I mean, you can shake your finger at so many people before anybody actually will do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Texans are getting tired of Abbott's finger wagging because it's a lack of action.
Well, I'm getting tired of everybody's finger wagging. We haven't had a single arrest of anybody. I mean, we've got now essentially witnesses from other countries that tell us about Dominion's voting machines and everything else, and how Venezuela actually Venezuela that stole some of these elections, controlled these elections.
Yeah,
we have it from 2016, we have it from 2020, we have it from 2024. Heck, I remember when there were reports when Obama was running of precincts having more votes than people in them. So this is something they were cooking up for a long time. That's just one of about 100 different things where we have evidence a mile high and not a single meaningful arrest on any of it. Tulsi Gabbard's turned things over to the DOJ. Nothing. But Kash Patel's girlfriend's going to sue somebody for reposting something that was posted on X. There's no action anywhere. And when there is, they don't explain what they're doing, so it allows the miscreants to band together and start turning people against. Oh, we got to stand up for ICE. These people are getting kidnapped. And it's like these congressmen yesterday that were telling the military they need to disobey legal orders. They don't get out in front of messaging at all.
You can blame from. Yeah, they're so studying a brave hiding behind congressional privilege.
Yeah,
they're trying to now hide behind congressional privilege, saying that their statements are protected speech. It wouldn't be protected speech if Biden was president. That's the problem. The hypocrisy, the bureaucracy, the politicized courts. But it all comes back to the politicized universities and the Republicans retreating from universities back in the 50s, letting the radical left take over. You can ban a Nazi, but you can't ban a commie? Why is that? Why can California pass a law to protect communists, but they can also at the same time ban Nazis, you know what I mean? And then they turn around and say, every time one of these Nazi groups does a First Amendment lawsuit, they turn around and say, look, there's no law. And so,
speaking of which, I saw something about Australia.
Yeah.
It was in Victoria where
No.
They're lowering the speed limit on some of the back road trucks to 70 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
What?
That's because a lot of these roads have seen so many accidents because the trucks don't slow down for the curves.
Oh. Well, you got
the trucks. A lot of our
you got illiterates driving trucks there too, like we do here, who don't speak English.
Yeah,
and don't know
they
the
just
rules
set the
of the road.
speed and just go. They don't actually drive the trucks. They just steer them, and sometimes they don't even steer them. There's been a lot of drivers using these, these Chinese gadgets. This auto drive.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're slowing the trucks down because they've had so many accidents because they don't slow for the curves. Plus, when a truck hits a car, it's 100 miles an hour. It obliterates the car.
Yeah, what
And
is
they don't
70?
stop. They don't even
like
feel it. They just
45 miles
hit
an
it
hour?
and keep going.
43.5.
Hmm.
Well, they let the trucks drive way too fast on interstate highways in the States too. So
Yeah. But this is one time the Victorian government has done something right. There's no need. I mean, these trucks, they are time limited on how long they can be on the road. But the problem is what's happened is they're going faster than they should. So they're they're making the speed limiters mandatory and having a mandatory setting that they can't go over 70.
yeah. Well, and is that the area where they have those? Is it Victoria? Is that in the Outback where they have the trucks that are like really long?
No.
They're almost like trains on the road.
No, road trains are restricted to national highways, and they're between cities outside it, and there's only one in Victoria, and most of them don't come as far. They don't come into the cities. They go to a place called the Gippsland, where the big meat processing plant is.
Oh, okay.
But what they have is they're national. Victoria is only putting the limit on state trucks.
Oh, okay.
So the national trucks can still do 100. But to get that license, you have to have such an impeccable record. You get one speeding ticket and you're gone, Now,
is that 100 kilometers an hour?
100 kilometers, yes.
Okay.
But in the Outback, they can do 100 miles because the limit.
But those roads are
no limit.
Dirt pretty much, right? And straight.
It takes you 24 hours going 100 miles an hour to get from one side of the country to another without stopping.
Yeah.
So they have to, if you're getting meat from Central Australia to one of the major cities, you've got a day to do it, Otherwise the cows start dying. So they let them go fast in the Outback for a reason.
They don't use trains, actual trains?
No, they're taking them to the trains.
Oh, okay.
And the trains take them into the city.
Okay.
But in some places, the meat processing plants are outside.
Right. But between cities, you don't have freight trains, or you do, but they're not that fast?
They're not. No, we do, but we don't have enough lines. And to put in another line costs billions.
Okay.
Because we're talking about 1,000 miles of line, where it's still cheaper to use trucks.
Yeah.
To close the distance. So the trucks are just doing that. The trucks are operating in the middle, and they bring it to that ring of meat processing plants, and then from there the meat goes into those big red containers and goes straight onto trains to go into the city.
Okay.
Because our train lines follow the coast, except for a couple of mines. And they built their own rail to connect to the main junction.
Yeah, I've been seeing on X people were talking about it in Victoria, and I was like, I didn't know because I didn't read any of the articles if
Victoria's
it was the
small.
stuff out there in the middle.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Right.
The other states are big. Western Australia is huge. Queensland and Western Australia are bigger than Texas. But
that's way down in the south. Okay,
yeah.
Melbourne,
but
New South Wales.
That's where 55% of the population is concentrated between Sydney and Melbourne, along the coast. With half of that in those cities. I think Melbourne's now surpassed Sydney for population. A lot of people move to Sydney thinking, "Oh, it's going to be great. We're going to be rich," and then it gets hot, and then winter does it, and then winter is still hot. So they move to Melbourne to at least feel weather, because it's hot or hot.
Sydney's not that far, though, is it?
No, it's in the middle. It's
from
in the
Melbourne
temperate zone, but it feels Brisbane's hotter than Sydney.
Yeah.
Which is weird because our weather varies more than it does in Sydney.
Yeah, you're getting close to the equator, but you don't have the tropical winds to get the rains, though, right? So things are pretty dry.
For 326 days a year, almost, yeah.
All right, you get all your rain in
Weird.
3
But
weeks.
when it rains, it's tropical rain.
Right.
Yeah. We get tropical rain this time of year, right? We're in storm season. But we
Yeah.
have the longest storm season of anywhere outside of China. I think we're second to China for storm season.
Gotcha. Because you get into the Caribbean, which is somewhat similar distance from the equator, but north.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 86 degrees every day, and things aren't as dry.
But see, the south is bulging more than the north, right? The imperfect globe. So we got more reflection. But we got high at the same time we got higher UV. So the UV is what's cooking the clouds.
Yeah.
That's why we have low rainfall.
Yeah. Well, and then you've also got a big landmass without any cooling. You don't have things to the west to bring storms across.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a plan. There was a modern plan, realizing that rivers and forests create rain, and in turn, that rain creates more forest. They were going to flood Central Australia with these big, long canals, but it would have cost us like 100 years of GDP to do it.
Yeah.
It was like really a phenomenal cost, but it would double our GDP. It just, we couldn't afford it. You know, nobody would give us the money. You know, we're not Somalia. You know, we're not going to get US aid to double our GDP. But see, Somalia's GDP only doubled from USA because they counted the US aid as GDP. They didn't actually do anything with it. Yeah.
Well, the U.S. counts government spending in the GDP equation, which is stupid. But
yeah, which is wrong. When I did economics, it was the other way round. Government spending was a liability. You had GDP equals tax revenue plus government assets less the cost of borrowing and less the cost of government. Not, we borrow $1 billion, put it in the treasury. Ta-da, the treasury just went up $1 billion. What?
Right. Right. No, that's that Keynesian economics nonsense.
Yeah.
You learn the real stuff, but the they don't let people like you be in charge because the numbers wouldn't work.
No.
Yeah. I mean, they would be real. That's the problem. We got to hide.
Yeah. You often hear from the Keynesian Institute the real GDP. Yeah, but how much? You don't even see the Keynesian Institute on Fox anymore.
Well, it's like the consumer price index. We don't count fuel and food, the two things people spend most of their money on. So what the heck is it? You know, the consumer price index is at 0.2%. Yet my gas is twice as much, and chicken is now $15 a pound. I mean, I'm just making up numbers.
But then no. But you're right. And the thing is, when it goes down, they count it. But when it goes up, they don't. How does that work? It's the same with job numbers. In the US, job numbers, you disappear from the job numbers after a year, whether you found a job or not.
Well, some of it's 90 days. And it is first-time jobless claims in the last 90 days. And if you stop looking for a job or stop applying, they don't count you.
Yeah.
I think if you go off, when your unemployment runs out, they don't count you, even if you're not employed. What is that? Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. What the heck is
Hi,
that?
Tommy.
Oh, what's up, buddy? Long time no see.
Is that paw prints?
Yeah, it's
Footprints?
Yeah, Tommy. Look, the Keynesian Institute, right, is probably the closest thing you'll have to real capitalism. And they put out an explanation once on how government spending creates debt and how debt creates inflation. And you think anybody paid attention to it and realized that I'm not saying that welfare is the problem. I'm saying foreign aid, when you borrow money to give to another country and they don't repay that, that lowers your GDP. But because we have this fake economics where aid is not counted except as GDP, it's like, what? Because they argue that it increases the money flow. The problem is Democrats decided that they're going to be supply side and Republicans are going to be the opposite. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Republicans try to build the GDP by increasing productivity, where the Democrats try to increase GDP by increasing the supply of money. Yet we all know the supply of money is what creates inflation. Because if you increase, say, the economy by $1 million, right? Next year, you have to find $1 million more in taxes to cover that million.
Yeah.
No, but what they do is just they keep printing another million, another million, another million. And eventually there's so much cash in the economy, you have women buying $3,000 handbags, because...
Yeah, there's nowhere for us to go. Well, it's not just that they're printing money, that they're also borrowing from a private bank in order to print that money. So it's not
justify.
So it's a double inflation, right?
Right, and then justify that borrowing by saying, "Oh, but we're keeping the pension funds alive."
Yeah, and they don't have to. In the U.S., they don't legally have to borrow. They just do it because that's the thing they set up.
Because of the pension fund kickbacks.
But that's part of the Federal Reserve Act, because constitutionally they can set the price of gold and silver, which is what's supposed to be backing the currency.
Yeah.
And they don't have to borrow.
When I was doing economics, I wrote a paper on how that we should, right? Now, there are almost all materials have a use, right? But there are certain materials that for which we have no use for other than currency, right? Because we have such a high use for gold that we should be replacing gold with other materials, right? That we could stockpile that won't affect the economy, right? By taking gold out of the economy, you increase the price of gold, right? And therefore you increase the price of currency. But the problem is outsiders can no longer afford your currency. So if you had a common material worldwide, or a common group of materials worldwide, which you could just say, yes, this is our stockpile. If I owe you $100 million, I don't send you $100 million. In the central bank, I transfer from my vault to your, or I give you the certificates. And it's still the same as the gold system, except it's materials that won't create inflation because there's no other use for it than currency.
Yeah. Well, see, in that many ways is real inflation, right? When there's less gold.
And that way you're only measure. Real inflation is the growth of the economy. And that way, if you take gold out of the currency equation, but the problem is people are addicted to and
Nixon took us off the gold standard, but we still have it as a reserve. But it's just like, that's one of the things I don't fully understand.
Fiat currency?
These people, the people that peddle, granted, I understand people when they buy gold and silver from them or copper or whatever. Okay, great. Let's say I have some of that and everything goes to hell. Okay. And I don't have a currency that I can exchange.
Yes.
How in the world am I going to exchange if I don't understand how gold or silver is suddenly a viable currency if the person I'm giving it to has no way to turn it into something else. Now I can understand making stuff out of it, but to me, currency only has, whatever it is, gold included, only has value because we believe it does. So if someone kicks off a nuclear war and the world goes kaboom, there still has to be whatever I'm exchanging to someone else, they have to be able to take that and exchange it to someone else. And that could be anything. And we used to use seashells. We used to use, other things before we invented coins. So I'm like, I still don't understand why
Actually, the longest
We couldn't just
currency-
trade dollars because it's I know there's no government anymore, but
Yeah.
it's still something that the current generation of people would recognize as something that has value.
True, but our longest currency has actually been silver, not gold.
Yeah.
And gold only became a major currency during the gold rush era, and that only lasted 110 years, and then we went to paper money.
Yeah.
And paper-backed currency, I mean, technically was meant to be backed by trade, right? If we owed you
Yeah.
money, you take it out of the money you would pay us. If we trade with you, right, a set of goods, and we don't pay, and you send us goods, and we don't pay for those goods we traded you are the payment.
Right. Right.
But we're not balancing the books every year. We're not even balancing the books every 10 years. The World Trade Organization hasn't balanced the books since, I think, when they valued the currencies to start fiat currency off. I think it was the last time they actually had a full audit. I don't think they've ever valued the currency properly since. It's all been speculation.
Well, that's
Like
another
you
thing
said.
that drives it, right?
Yeah.
The speculation on the currency.
Yeah. Well, that's what you said. Gold being not worth what it is, but what people think it is. Again, that's where it comes back to an alternative. Again, if you want to keep gold as a currency, I said it's got to have a fixed value. It has to be. If to have a proper trading system, you need at least one thing to have a fixed value. If it isn't gold, it's got to be silver, copper, palladium, nickelodeum, or some other material which says no other use than to be a fixed currency.
Right.
That's the problem with our trading system right now. We have no set value, and that's why we have currency inflation.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Hey,
Seth.
since we're talking about papers, so I must have been on vacation when apparently Trump did the Epstein Transparency Act. What's this about?
He signed it. He signed it yesterday afternoon.
Oh, it was yesterday. Okay,
It's been going for almost.
I haven't heard anything about it really.
No, I haven't either.
Okay.
But apparently
a threatened
there's some
lawsuit.
courts there. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll read the whole thing, so maybe it'll make sense. President Trump and AG Bondi just asked federal courts in Florida to release the Epstein transcripts that are currently sealed. The filing comes barely 2 days after Trump signed the Epstein-File Transparency Act. The DOJ is now arguing the new law overrides a law that allowed these documents to remain sealed. A huge backfire on the left.
Yes.
How is
See,
how
the
is
left,
that?
That's what I've been arguing for a long time. All these people keep saying, release the files, release the files. They have. The problem is the judges come along and says, no, you can't release my files, but you have to release yours. And they're all pointing fingers at each other. All these judges there's 3 judges across America, 2 Clinton and 1 Obama appointee, who hoard most of the files. And thus, that's why there's redactions, because those cases are not federal. The DOJ has no control over them. The state judges do.
Gotcha.
Now,
So now
Larry
we're just
Summers
watching for these judges to
first-
release the stuff.
Yeah. Now, Larry Summers is the first one who's been exposed as having extensive Jeffrey Epstein communications before and after his conviction. 2 days ago, he resigned at Harvard. He's told students that he feels shame over his actions and is taking a step back from his public life. But the far left have botched with radical Epstein claims and insane accusations about the GDP involved in a big scandal and that everything's going to be redacted. Yet it's the judges who are withholding the information. And they won't admit it. And a lot of people, no matter how many times you tell them it's the judges holding back the information, they just say, but Trump cannot override a judge. Congress can, and Congress just did.
So
I
now,
don't think half of.
what the DOJ is getting them to do is override that.
Yeah, that's right. Congress can override a judge by passing laws.
Well, they're
Congress only-
Article 3 courts. They're not part of the justice system, technically. So they don't have, unlike the Supreme Court, they don't have equal standing with Congress or the president.
No. A state court is beneath Congress. Therefore, Congress is the only one with the power to enact laws.
Yeah.
And those laws, the problem is the states can then go to the Supreme Court to assert their rights to keep those files sealed. But DeSantis has signed a bill saying, no, you've got to hand them over. He's not a bill, a memorandum or something.
Speaking of Bill,
Yeah.
other news that I've seen involving a certain bill.
Oh, yeah.
What is the deal with this apparently picture that's floating around of Bill Clinton and Donald Trump?
Bill Clinton and Donald Trump.
Which one?
Okay, Donald Trump a long time ago was a fundraiser for the Democrats.
No, he was a Democrat.
No, I mean a fundraiser for the Democrats. Yeah, Bill Clinton he helped fundraise for Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And apparently, Bill Clinton used to call him my friend, my dear comrade. Whenever I'm in New York. Well, Trump sort of exposed the fact that shortly after he was elected, never really seen or heard it or had much to do with him anything after that, and eventually they drifted apart. Now, Bill Clinton was using Trump as a
I gotta figure out what's going on. You keep guys
smoke screen because Bill Clinton was really seeing Jeffrey Epstein.
Gotcha. I was wondering. I keep seeing stuff about. It's inappropriate for YouTube. But there's pictures of something.
Larry Summers, Eldon, and like a couple of other billionaires, including Wexner and Bill Clinton, in a hot tub. That was in Florida. That was shortly before the Clinton announcement that he was running for president. It was a big fundraiser for billionaires only for Bill Clinton to run for president. Trump was one of the organizers of that fundraiser. But shortly after that, when Bill Clinton did become president, those two drifted apart. Remember, Hillary, up until 2012, used to speak highly of Donald Trump and wanted him to come to Chelsea's wedding, endorse her for running for Senate, help her with fundraising. But he was an independent in 2012, wasn't he?
Look at the private chat. That's the topic I was. There was a.
That one? Yeah, that's the salacious one that's coming out and from that's backfired on the Democrats really, really big.
Oh, is it?
I haven't heard that one.
Democrats face Fox has reported it. Democrats have faced backlash on Twitter after making salacious allegations about Trump and Bill Clinton in a what was it? I think it was a 1992.
It was a 2004
I think Bill Clinton
image.
said something that he could make anybody, including Trump, do you know what to him. It was Clinton, being rude and crude, saying that he could make anybody, eat a hot dog. Well, he probably didn't have to ask Obama twice, right? Or Big Mike.
Yeah.
But social media calls it an insane allegation, and it started with Jasmine Crockett, if you need to know a name. If you weren't surprised. And of course, no surprise, right? But Larry Summers is not the first and won't be the last. But Kamala Harris is claiming that Trump hasn't released the files. It's like, I just signed the bill. Okay, now release the files. It's like, you have to get the judges to hand the files over first. It's like, this is typical Democrat smear campaigns, just keep making noise, throwing mud, saying anything negative constantly. Did you hear the one about the piggy insult?
No.
Okay. President Trump is they're claiming that President Trump called Kathleen Lucy a piggy. In fact, he said, "Quiet, please, Peggy." He was talking to one of the other reporters who was interrupting, and then he said, "Go ahead," to and pointed to Kathy. Now they're saying that he called her a piggy and pointed at her. You know, it's ridiculous.
Gotcha. I was wondering what had to have been said because it's all that's been online for so long.
Yeah, the piggy meme. I'm guilty of sharing it. So funny. Democrats calling Trump all these names under the sun, and he says piggy, and they freak out, you know. Now, they tried to hammer Lee Zeldin over donations. It turns out that there is actually another person named Jeffrey Epstein out there.
Oh, that
you think the first thing I would do if I had that name, first thing I'd do is get a change.
I would definitely go change that name.
Isn't that one a doctor or something?
Yeah, well, it turned out he was a doctor.
That was that. Yeah, a Jeffrey
ago.
Epstein, not the Jeffrey Epstein.
That was her excuse. But and then her excuse is, but Republicans are talking about Jeffrey Epstein, so I'm talking about Jeffrey Epstein to get the public awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you didn't
just
know.
A different one.
It's just, you just left out the part that it wasn't the same one. And then she makes the excuse and says, "Oh, but my staff has only had 20 minutes. Yeah. Like, throw your staffers under a bus. Good one.
Yeah. Really.
I mean, who do you think you are, Keir Starmer? Yeah, he's trying to throw his stuff under a bus over this deadline He's claiming as if Trump did not give him and others a heads up about the 28-point police plan that he's been working on for the last month. You don't think he told the British that this was coming and that the deadline would be and that he's only giving them, well, I think it was a week or a month. I'm not sure. Because Politico, you can't trust what they're saying. Because as soon as you see the words "may," you know they're weaseling, right?
Yeah.
That they're making stuff up, that they don't know what the deadline is. They just know there is one. Keir Starmer's acting like a deer caught in a headlight. What peace plan? Yeah, like bullshit.
Is that for Ukraine?
You know exactly what peace plan. You had your... What's the name of that weasel? Tony Blair. Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of Ukraine, the Russian billionaire, and a couple of others have been working on advising backwards and forwards on this for the last month, trying to hammer out a peace deal for Ukraine. And now that they finally hammered out a deal, Ursula von der Leyen says, "Nah, it doesn't take our security into consideration." Like, it's like politics, man. Losers don't get to decide the war's outcome, you know, except ending it. And Ursula, you're not fighting this war.
And she's not actually in charge of anything.
No.
The EU Council's not supposed to have any real authority. That's how they set it up.
Yeah.
So Ursula can go pound a bag.
Here's the thing. She controls the bureaucracy, and they control NATO and all the other institutions. This is what Trump's exposing, how the Europeans have basically turned into the USSR, where the bureaucrats control everything and demand that everybody obey them, or there's going to be general strikes, like what they did in France. They tried to force Macron to stand down because he wouldn't send troops to the so-called stabilization force that they were going to send into Western Ukraine. And then Russia says, you know, if one of our bombs drop on your heads, that's on you for being there.
Yep.
So Ursula pulled out of that little stunt. They're so busy trying to create World War III. It's so obvious.
Well, they want someone else to start it. They want to look like
They want to blame Russia again. Yeah.
They want to look like they're the good people.
We're the oppressed. We're the victims of Russian aggression. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. Yeah. It's like they talked about free today there was free incursions. Well, one of them was a Ukrainian drone fryer, so Donald Tusk for the third time this week has been embarrassed by Ukraine.
Speaking of Ukraine, did you guys see where Trump ordered Ukraine to sign a peace treaty by Thanksgiving or else?
Yes, that's what we're talking about. How there's a deadline.
Oh, good. I was reading something about Kash Patel. Kash Patel concluded the investigation of the Trump assassination, finding that Thomas Crooks acted entirely alone.
What? Patel. Yes.
Kash Patel.
He needs to be investigated. There's something going on with him. I don't know if someone got to him. Hey, we've got pictures of you dancing in your underwear. I mean, I don't know. But he is really, really, really compromised, and he needs to be removed and investigated.
Yeah. He has been him. Like, I hate to say Dan Bongino, but daggone, man.
Apparently Kash Patel sidelined Dan Bongino by putting in a second deputy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think Trump put in some AG from Missouri too.
Bongino's been assigned to some sort of secondary oversight role, so he doesn't know what's going on anymore.
Oh man, my back hurts.
Again, this is what happens when you let the bureaucracy run the show, right?
Dan Bongino should just walk away. Yeah. I like Dan. I don't want him to.
I think he's biding time once he's got enough information.
Yeah.
And when he's free to speak his mind, he will. But he's on a contract. Until that contract runs out, he can't say anything.
That's crap.
Bongino strikes me as that kind of guy who, when he's between the rock and a hard place, is going to work on a way of getting back at you. And I think he'll get it. And I think he'll expose Patel when the time's right. Because he probably doesn't know who's controlling Patel.
Somebody definitely is.
Yeah. Same with Bondi.
Well, I think Bondi was always a rat.
Yeah.
She just put in there to bide time until the statute of limitations is up on this stuff, and then we can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't liked her from the start.
That's the problem. You may elect a president, but the president doesn't have all the power. So you try to elect a Congress to go along with the president, but the states have senators with their own agendas, and you can't do anything about the blue states and their blue cohorts blocking you at every step. So this is why so many people get frustrated with the Republican Party.
Yeah, well, they're ultimately controlled by the same people.
Yeah.
Although I think the Democrat Party is having a real revolution where the real communists are trying to take full control. And that's kind of the Soros wing as opposed to the old money
Soros wing. I was going to say the Soros wing because they're not they act like they're going to be full communists, but I think it's more fascist, Yeah. Because remember, he's just been like granddaddy.
That he is.
Actually, if he wanted to be like granddaddy, he'd have to sell his father out to the authorities.
Yes, but he is the authorities now.
Yeah, but somebody did ask the serious question: is he really George's son? Because he lost $20 billion chasing a deal in Southeast Asia.
You're talking about Alex
with China. Okay. Alex lost $20 billion on a deal with China in Cambodia. Thailand blew that casino to Kingdom Come It was on the wrong side of it was on their territory, so, they had every right to blow it away. You built an illegal casino on our territory?
Oh, they blew up the building or something?
Yeah, they blew up the building.
Oh.
They shelled it with artillery.
Whoops.
Yeah. Alex and the Chinese lost $20 billion on that. But apparently they've moved deeper into Cambodia. But and apparently now Trump is talking with the Cambodian Prime Minister about law enforcement insistence. In other words, his Green Berets are all running around the jungle playing James Bond.
Probably.
But we all know it's games. I mean, did you see Xi Jinping's face when he saw Trump? It was more like relief that he made it. That I think Xi Jinping realizes that every time he leaves China, he's a little bit safer. And he's never safe. The safest place in the world to me is standing right beside Trump. I mean, if somebody is, that's how bad things are in China. Because in China, the only way to go from deputy to minister is to take care of the guy in front of you. They're selling each other out like rats, rats in a sinking ship. China's seen capital flight of over $1 trillion this year. I mean, their GDP's sliding. Sooner or later, they can't hide it. They've lost all that growth for the last 30 years.
6 hours ago, Zorn supporters are not happy with his meeting with President Trump. They say they feel betrayed and wish that they could take back their vote.
Yeah, because he didn't stand up to Trump and do it and demand he
That is
arrest.
funny.
No, citizen's arrest. Didn't do anything.
No, we need to get MAGA to be angry with Trump for not jailing Mandami or spanking him or something. So
yeah,
you didn't put him over your knee and spank him.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
why are they calling Hakeem Jeffries Snow Obama? Oh, because he's having a meltdown. All right. Okay, Hakeem Jeffries has been called Snow Obama after 3 times refusing to answer a direct question about his messaging of Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, nice.
So even the media is turning against him now. Even the media recognizes that he's Timu Obama. And they're calling him Snowflake Obama right now. Sorry, Hakeem. You're going to be forever known as Sombrero Man.
Something like
stuck.
that.
It's stuck. He is done. But who's next? I don't think Hakeem Jeffries will resign. I don't think any Democrat will resign.
Probably not.
But will they do something about Bill Gates and Alex Soros? Because Trump has been insinuating that he's going to start going after people, but I don't see Leip holding his breath.
No.
Nope. And they can't just go after some underling. That's why I keep saying meaningful.
Has to be a boss.
Meaningful
has to be a boss.
Arrest.
It really does, man, because it's getting so boring now. Like, all it is like, oh, Democrats did something again. Never mind. We're just going to let it go. Better not do it a second time.
Well, I'm really, 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 really mean it this time.
I mean it.
You're going to get a really strongly worded letter from me.
Yeah.
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 Which is why we saw resignations of, who's that guy? I forget his name. Last time round, yeah, big. Though we have no surprise really that MT is gone. But guess who else has been exposed as having close ties to Jeffrey Epstein? Chomsky.
Oh, no.
Apparently, during his time at MIT, he was having meetings with Maxwell and Epstein, that he had share dealings with Warren Buffett and Epstein, and that it's been exposed that JP Morgan did not debank Jeffrey Epstein and allowed $1.3 billion in loans, despite red flags that these loans had no indication of purpose or meaning, and that they were to foreign entities without checking which foreign entities.
Yep.
Israel's changed its mind. They're no longer going to block the US-Saudi jet deal, claiming that it no longer threatens Israel's security edge.
Okay. Wonder what changed.
I tell you what changed. Saudi Arabia doesn't wants Saudi Arabia wanted what they wanted all along, that Israel would not war against the Islamic world, only Iran.
Right. The Persians.
Yes.
So we've gone back to Arabs against the Persians.
Yes.
Or Semitic. We should, if we wanted to be really, really technical, Semites versus the Persians.
Yeah. What was it? The Battle of
Ishmaelites. If you really want to get technical.
That's right. The Battle of Jerusalem, the Ishmaelites. Yes. Because most Israelis are not Semites; they're Babylonian.
Well, they're Ukrainian too. A lot of them.
No, you mean Kazakhs? Kazakhs who fled the Mongols.
Yeah. Because
there's no such thing as a Ukrainian. You're either Slavic or a Kazakh.
Yeah.
And the Kazakhs who settled, the Kazakhs and the Tatars who settled on Crimea mixed with the Greeks, because the Greeks were the first to settle Crimea, not Russians or Slavs. But there's no such thing as a Russian, because the Russians are majority Slavic or Kazakh, or usually a mix. There's no ethnic Rus. The Cossacks come close, but the Russians haven't had a genetic Rus in centuries. They were bred out by the Mongols a long time ago.
Well, I remember reading something about that's one of the questions of what the Rus really were, because you had Germanic tribes that were coming from the Nordic areas as well.
Rus, it's believed
and we didn't know the Rus, but the Vikings, or they were the local Slavs. Right.
Yeah, it's believed that the Rus were the local Slavs who mixed with the Vikings.
Yeah.
But there's no way of knowing, because there's no genetic Rus that we could test.
Right.
There's no descendant. They're all mixed with Mongol one way or the other.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to find a true ancient, burial somewhere.
Which there are not many found. I mean,
no.
There's only
well, it's like trying to figure out who was some of the earliest inhabitants, especially like Iron Age inhabitants of Great Britain are, because they cremated everybody, and so when you find, and then the soil's really
there's only 6 tar pit bodies that were found, and they're all white, and yet they somehow magically appear to be black in DNA testing.
Yeah.
Even though those black bodies later turned out to be Roman era slaves.
Yeah, that's hard part is knowing exactly what you got too.
Yeah,
because someone can disturb your kist at any time.
Science and forget to date when those bodies were tested and when those bodies were actually exhumed and what contamination probability there is.
Yep.
Because they're now finding that DNA does contaminate soil. So if you've got a local populace that's mixed and the local soil is contaminated, because a lot of Iron Age is near surface in Europe. Anything up to 3 meters deep can be contaminated by burial of other bodies.
Right.
Because a lot of these graveyards have been buried on for centuries.
Oh yeah. Well, there's ones in Egypt that they can tell by the burial practice. You know, you have like Egyptian, and then there's Romans had them turned a different way, and then the Christians have them turned a different way. And it's just like, you know, and I don't know where I guess it's sand. Maybe the dirt's coming in like that, but it's not just cities that have their burials that are like that's pretty crazy to think about.
But they were testing a Roman site recently, and they kept getting different DNA mixes, and then they realized because sand is so porous, the body fluids have spread and contaminated all of it. The body fluids from the top, because remember, oil goes down into the earth. And it's contaminated from the top soil down to the base. So the oldest bodies in the world are contaminated by the surface burials of the 25th century kings, which is the last burial at the valley at that particular burial site. After that, because of the invasion of Egypt in that period, anything from the 25th century on was only buried in the Upper Nile Valley.
He's meaning 25th century BC for anyone keeping track.
I mean the 25th century of Egypt. Okay, Egypt is the oldest. It is actually believed to be founded 3,550 years after the end of the Ice Age. That it was actually the first civilization, but Egypt we know collapsed 3 times. The Egypt we know is the second era.
Yeah.
And the third era is the Ptolemaic era. And that's followed by the Roman era, which is the official end of Egypt as an ancient civilization.
Well, the Ptolemies were Greek anyway, so.
Yes. But the Greeks and the Kush contaminated the original Egyptian burial sites by burying their bodies on top of them.
Well, my dogs are telling me they need to go out soon.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say we should start wrapping up because I'm gonna have to make coffee and gaming. Get that going.
Oh yes.
Any final thoughts? Anything this week that you guys want to bring up?
Nope. I don't have anything else.
Okay. Do we?
Oh, last thing. I know RFK's not in the spotlight this week, but he's going to be in the spotlight next week with lawsuits coming against Tylenol makers.
Something about Pfizer too.
Oh, they just paid. They got fined $70 million.
700 or 70?
I think it's 700.
700 million.
For what?
Bad product.
Oh, they don't
didn't
say.
Do proper testing.
Oh, you don't say.
AstraZeneca got bailed out in the UK, but they were going bankrupt. But they still haven't met. Pfizer's still the most fined pharmaceutical company in the world. Most other countries, there's countries now that are considering banning Pfizer. You know how Pfizer started?
How?
He was a World War II survivor who got given all the Nazi research.
Nice.
Because the denazification of Germany meant stripping every Nazi scientist of every achievement they ever made, and they were given to their victims. Now we wonder, were they really victims or cohorts?
Yeah. And then I think that I saw something where the CEO of United says everyone in his company has to get the new COVID shot or something. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get it verified that they really said that, but
well, there's a doctor who got fined recently for giving $12 million for giving was something ridiculous for giving people placebo instead of the COVID shot, and he said he'd gladly pay the fine rather than put people's lives at risk. But on appeal, the fine was found to be in excess, because he didn't make any money off doing it.
Yeah.
So instead, he got a suspension for 12 months.
Nice.
But still, it shows you how entrenched in the system Big Pharma is, in which they can push for these cases into the public. Because remember, Pfizer was made famous by being one of the few pharmaceutical companies that found a way around advertising. When the advertising ban came in the 70s, they started sponsoring the news. And people only started now waking up why they sponsored the news. It wasn't just advertising. It was control.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a real shame if we stopped, sponsoring your telecast because you're complaining about Big Pharma.
Yeah.
All right.
Coffee and gaming. More Red Dead?
Do what?
Red Dead?
Yep. I've forgotten what we've been doing in Red Dead. Like, it's been so long. Now,
You're
hey,
doing
guess
the
what?
Satchels. You're in-
I'm going to be... What?
I think you're in chapter 3, aren't you? And you're doing the
no, I don't
satchels
think
and
we've
the
got
hunting.
there quite yet. Maybe. I don't know. We will probably be doing some coffee and gaming in the next week. Like, in the morning times there, David, if you're free.
I'll try to be free. If I know when you're doing it, I'll record my videos. So
It would probably Monday I have to work. Actually, let's talk about this off air.
all right, folks, we'll talk about.
I don't want to dig
coffee
myself a
gaming.
hole. So hey, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. for some coffee and gaming. Should be a good time. I can't wait. For the meantime, buy David's book. All the links down below, and check out Lape's channel. All that stuff can be found down below. We'll see you at 7 a.m. right here on this channel, The Men's Room. We'll see you later.
Goodbye.
I always wait for you to do a goodbye, kind of like Kinder does a .com.
.com.
That would help if I hit the right button. That was the intro.
That was the intro.
Here you go.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good day, sir.
Can they still hear us?
Yeah, they can still hear us.
All right.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good Jim Bob. Hell, I have to go. Peace out.
Burn in hell, New World Order. Fuck you. You, New World Order. You, Bill Gates.
Shut up, Lape.
I love you. You gotta do better than that. I love you.